Hi everyone, Steph back here with some more breaking wrestling news and analysis. And unfortunately today it's a sad story I have for you, as AEW's Kenny Omega has announced he's out of action indefinitely. On X, formerly Twitter, Kenny shared a photo from his hospital bed and told fans, "I can't really sugarcoat this, I'm out indefinitely. I tried to keep pushing past the pain for as long as I could until it became too much. Luckily, doctors caught me when they did. I'll be here, so in the meantime, please enjoy wrestling." Now, in this post, Omega did not reveal what he was hospitalized for. It did not sound like an injury because of the way he worded it. Luckily, doctors caught me when they did. And then we had a follow-up from Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful. He wrote, "We're told Kenny had been ill throughout the last week, even ahead of his match with Ethan Page." That, of course, happened on last week's Collision. "He still did the match and the promos and sought medical attention after, where he was hospitalized and diagnosed with diverticulitis." So diverticulitis, that is something that a lot of wrestling fans will know about because Brock Lesnar previously battled diverticulitis. Brock was diagnosed with diverticulitis at the end of 2009, and it's thought to be what ended his UFC career. At the time he was competing in UFC, he actually ended up having to have surgery because he had such a serious case of the illness. Diverticulitis is something where there are different degrees of severity. We don't have any information on Kenny's diagnosis. As I said, he didn't even confirm himself that it is diverticulitis that he is dealing with. But certainly he is going to be out of action for quite a while, and it's really sad news. It's going to be devastating for a lot of AEW fans, and I absolutely wish all the best to Kenny in his recovery. So Kenny and his current tag team partner Chris Jericho, together they are the Winnipeg Jets. They had been scheduled to team at the World's End pay-per-view on December 30th in a tag team title match against Big Bill and Ricky Starks. Now, Jericho and Omega did appear together on Dynamite, and they had a segment with Big Bill and Ricky Starks, and this was not very well received, but I think today's news really does put it in perspective. I myself thought that the segment was bad, but I would lay the blame for it really on Jericho, who was using a lot of outdated jokes and things like that. He was really taking some cheap shots at Ricky Starks. Him and Ricky didn't really have any chemistry promoing together. They'd previously feuded earlier this year, and I think the longer that went on, the less Starks got out of it. So there was a lot of criticism on Jericho for how bad the Dynamite segment was, and Kenny got some criticism too because he did seem very checked out and not in it. And there was a lot of people talking this week about whether Kenny really wants to be doing this Golden Jets team up with Jericho. But now that we know how Kenny has been feeling for the past week or more, it does give us more of an understanding of what was going on with him during that segment on Dynamite. So best wishes to Kenny Omega. Really terrible news, but I hope he's able to make a speedy recovery, but it is going to be quite a while, potentially a very long one, before we see him back in the ring in AEW. And guys, if you have been enjoying the recent videos I've been making going through the breaking wrestling news, please subscribe to this channel. Most of you watching aren't subscribers, and check out the other videos I've made this week. I did a deep dive into the real reason that Seth Rollins hates CM Punk. This one goes way back to 2019, and last week I also had a video about Okada's future and if he could be headed to WWE.